Hello everybody, this is Justin from KQS, and today I am going to be reviewing Dynasty Warriors 8. This may be the 8th installment of the Dynasty Warriors games, but the story hasn't changed. You pick one of four armies, Wei, Wu, Shu, or Jin, okay 5 if you include the other faction, and you fight to unite the land with your specific kingdom, and taking part in real historical battles and moments, like launching a fire attack on Chi-Bi, and the awesomely named Battle of Shi-Ting. And yes, I'm more than aware that it looks like it says shitting, but it's Shi-Ting. And you get to watch the very first fist bump. The graphics in this game have gotten way better, and all the characters look really great. The lighting and the shadows are much improved. Even the ground textures look pretty sharp and better than ever. Even though there's hundreds of enemies on the screen, there's no slowdown, and loading times are not bad at all. There is an option on the PS3 to install data to the hard drive, but you actually won't need to. One thing kind of bugs me though. During the loading/story screen, there is no narrator to be heard. It makes me skip the story and get straight to the action. Even the camp, where you make preparations, buying weapons, and talking to NPCs, they have no voiceover whatsoever, so there's very little reason to talk to them, unlike the last game. And the voice work is actually pretty good, unlike when I started the franchise.
Feel the power of my magic!
DW8 is hack and slash at heart. You pick one superpowered general and demolish everything in your path. The only people that are your real obstacles are other generals, but you do have a good variety of moves to use. Yes, you can always get away with mashing buttons, but there is a real strategy to using all the variety of moves to your advantage, even though you'll be using crowd control moves most of the time. One of my favorite things that Dynasty Warriors just recently added is that any character can equip 2 weapons in the game. And yes, you can attack anybody with Zhang Hei's claws and a hint of beauty. But there's also a compatibility meter. The higher the number of stars, the higher attack bonus you get, so do choose carefully. And in DW8 they added even more depth to the weapon system itself. Now weapons have an affinity triangle. So on the weapons menu here, it just says Heaven, Man, and Earth. One affinity is stronger than the other, and if you are at a disadvantage, you'll see an exclamation point over the officer's head, meaning that you're kind of screwed, because they don't take any hit stun. No hit stun means, yes, he's taking damage, but he can interrupt my combo at any time, because he's not being knocked back. So now, as I switch to my other weapon, which has a different affinity, and is on equal footing or has the advantage, I can actually knock him back and kill him off. One thing I do find strange in Dynasty Warriors 8 is it has a rage mode. I kind of find it a little weird just because you're very strong enough as it is. Rage mode basically doubles your attack, refills your Musou meter, and lets you do a special rage Musou that's only available when you're in rage mode. I really don't use it very often, but I guess I can kind of understand it coming in handy during chaos mode. Though I do have to admit the new kind of vortex mode that kind of hits randomly for me is really fun to watch. There are 3 modes in Dynasty Warriors 8. A free mode, in which you can play any level, any character that you've unlocked. Story mode, so you can learn about the history of the legendary 3 kingdoms. And ambition mode. Story mode is a linear path, or so I thought. But once I actually beat the Wu side, I actually went back to level select and noticed there were a few side paths to the story, in which you can actually stop certain events. Like this. This is the very first level. Under normal circumstances, Sun Jian dies. But if you kill a specific dude in a level, the arrow that was supposed to kill Sun Jian instead hits the Jade Imperial Seal, so he does not die, on the battlefield at least. Time paradox! So it encourages multiple playthroughs. Though at the same time, I do kind of feel like it goes too fast. Usually all the factions fight under the Han before splitting off into 3 kingdoms. And usually when you start the game, Usually it goes from Yellow Turban Rebellion to the Battle of Hulao Gate against Lu Bu. But only Shu has the ability to fight the Yellow Turbans, and Wu is totally excluded from battling Lu Bu. So it really bounces around the history of the Three Kingdoms. Ambition mode is very similar to Conquest mode from Dynasty Warriors 7, but it feels on a much smaller scale. You're in charge of a town, and you kind of go out to battle and you choose between 4 different levels. And each level you choose builds up fame, extra dudes, and materials to expand your town. The more sequential missions you play, the bigger the reward, but the harder the difficulty. It's not bad, but I kind of feel cramped going back to the same town over and over. Even though Dynasty Warriors 8 tells the exact same story again, it still is great. And being a superpowered demon of the battlefield has never felt better. With the multi-tiered story, ambition mode, and all those characters to max out, you'll be playing Dynasty Warriors 8 for a long time. Well, until Extreme Legends comes out. So I do definitely recommend this game, you'll very much so enjoy it. Though there is one character that I hope they really get right in Dynasty Warriors 9, and it's Huang Gai. The man went from using a metal rod to now he uses a freaking canoe. Yes, he slaps people with a canoe. I mean, literally, check it out. Huang Gai used surf. It's super effective. And don't hate on my Pokemon references. Okay, that's the end of the review. Hope you all enjoyed it. Just thumbs up and subscribe for more reviews and randomness. This is Justin from KQS, and until we meet again, comrades.